Hello and welcome to another episode of Dumb and Dumbest, a music industry podcast where everything is terrible and the house is on fire. I'm Matt Bacon. I'm here with my beautiful, wonderful, radiant, luxurious, well-muscled co-host, Curtis Dewar.
With me.
I should maybe do that in more of like a wrestler announcer voice moving forward.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You like the Ed McMahon thing?
Yeah. Point being, today we are talking about...
We're talking about ways that we are planning on growing the podcast and how you can also use these same strategies to grow your own brand.
Exactly. So...
Yes.
This is a big one. So I kind of have always, and this is sort of something that's weird for me because here's my issue with promoting the podcast. And this is going to sound really shitty. But the podcast is in many ways sort of a secondary thing for me. And I think it's sort of a secondary thing for you.
Sort of, yeah. It is, and it isn't at the same time.
Yeah. And so I guess the real question that we have to have with a podcast, as you need to have with a band, especially if you've got a lot going on, is where does it fit into your life?
Well, you and we try to do it at least once every couple of days, usually around the same time in the afternoon. So,
but that's not what I'm saying. It's not how does it fit in your life time-wise. It's how does it fit in your life in terms of your content output?
Well, here's how it fits for me, and just if I'm answering this the wrong way, just tell me. This podcast for me, and Instagram as well, when I do the little videos and stuff, they're basically a prepping point for future clients. So that way they kind of know what to expect, what they're going to get, and what's expected of them. I've had plenty of people that have asked to work with me that as a result of listening to the podcast or seeing the videos.
Absolutely.
What I need and what to expect.
And I think that's essential. I think it's essential because I think you're positioning yourself as a thought leader, as an opinion leader. Sort of,
but for me, it's more like takes a lot of the frustration out for like what clients should expect. So like anybody that listens to this podcast know that if they're on their first album, they're not going to get on Pitchfork. They don't come with unrealistic expectations, and they know exactly what to do. Like I've had people tell me, okay, I know that I need to submit certain types of material to you, and they do it. No problem. Those type of people that actually listen to the podcast and the Instagram, for both of us, I know, they're dream clients because they know what to expect.
Exactly. And I think we get further with a dream client. And, similarly, I think this is why it's important to like be an active guy in your scene.
Yeah.
Because then the people coming to check you out are also active people in your scene and the type of people who are actually looking for local music. Whereas, you don't want to be pitching to someone who's at a metal show because, like, it's a rock show, man.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
It's like trying to pitch death metal to, like, a traditional metal fan.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Even if I think a lot of traditional metal fans might intellectually see the appeal.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at the podcast. Is it's kind of like an outgrowth of. It's almost like an educational step for people that want to work with us in the future as to what to expect, what they need to do, what we do for them, so that way there's no weird expectations, the wrong expectations. Like in the past, I've had lots of people, even recently, contact me and say, "Hey, we want to use your PR company to pitch to labels." It's like, well, that's not what I fucking do. I've done it in the past, and I've stopped because that's not my thing. That's not what a PR company does or should do. That's not their forte. Yeah. But anybody who listens to this podcast knows what I do.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of value to that.
I agree.
So based on its position in your digital life, how do you feel you could better promote it?
Well, like we just talked about, I think one thing we're probably going to end up doing is we're probably going to find a website to host it, so that way we can possibly get some more listeners, because we're mainly distributing it ourselves, and it's but I mean, and it's pretty consistent, like you said, for listens. But I mean, at the same time, I think we do need to expand a little bit out further. And if I can find someone that'll host it on a regular basis, I think that will help us as well. Plus doing Facebook ads and all the rest of that too. But I think the first step is finding an external host, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I think that's yeah, and I think it's very important to realize with any content you create that you're really just looking for attention, which is fine. That's just why we create content as humans.
Mhm.
You know, so I think it's important to respect that and respect where that's coming from, and then grow with that sort of in mind. You know, so like at the end of the day, we are looking for attention. So we are looking for the most high-profile site we can find to become our partner.
Yep.
That's
And even if it's not necessarily even a high profile one, I really don't care, because here's the thing is that as long as we're getting people that potentially need to work with us, I'm happy with it. But the bigger the better, obviously.
yeah.
So obviously metal injection, Matt's going to be asking Rob and Frank tomorrow.
Sure. You know, but and I also, and this is, you know, I also think there's something to be said. I think there is a position in the market for a musician to basically tie their work in with a publication.
What do you mean?
I could totally see like someone hitting up Keith at Ghost Cult Magazine, being like, "Look, we want to release all of our material through you."
You know, Terrorizer did that one time with a band, and I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but apparently it went okay.
Was it Terrorizer?
It was Terrorizer. This was like a
No, but
long.
like, did they do it with the band Terrorizer? Because that'd be pretty sick.
It wasn't the band Terrorizer. I forgot there was a band named Terrorizer. Now I understand what you're saying. It wasn't Terrorizer with Terrorizer, but that would have been fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it was like I think it was a death metal band that did that, and my understanding is it went well. Don't quote me on that, but I mean, basically I think they paid Terrorizer to put their CD as a cover mount for that month, and they basically got however many issues that Terrorizer distributes. That's how many copies they got out there, right? So that's kind of neat, and it's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of like what our friends in Dead Register are doing right now, where they are actually just getting a premiere for every single song.
Which is making my life insane, but hey, it's a good idea.
Yeah, but also it gets them a lot further.
It does 100%. I think it's a fantastic idea. It's insane for me, but it's a fantastic idea, and I think it's going to work.
And this is sort of the key, right? In my eyes, is creating content that has a funnel that people are going to be drawn into, which doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be strategic about placing. One thing, just as a side note, just Dead Register is pretty smart doing what Matt said and putting each track out prior to release. It's difficult to do, and it can be a little bit insane for the publicist, but at the same time, it's actually a really good idea. I don't understand the hold your music tight to your chest type idea. I think what they're doing is actually a really smart thing, and if you do it properly, you could probably increase your sales quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who seem like they want to limit their option. Like they're like, oh, well, people will seek it out, and it's like, no. If it takes me more than 5 seconds to find your music, you're not finding your music.
Well, the other thing too, the one thing I've always found is that if the people who aren't going to pay no matter what you do, and the people who are going to pay aren't going to not pay. You know what I mean? Like like, unless I'm like completely different, I don't think I've ever went and, I don't go looking for free download sites because, I'm going to go buy the music. And I'm pretty sure most people are like that. They either buy music or they don't buy music. And if they don't buy music, they're not going to buy it no matter what you do. And they're still going to just download it.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's so much easier for me to listen to music through Spotify because I have it going through the nice speakers and I don't have to get up.
Yeah.
Than it is for me to attach my record player to the nice speakers and then get up every 20 minutes.
or go to the
I'm not
Russian
going to do
download
that.
site and risk viruses.
What?
Or go to the Russian download site and risk viruses.
You know what you're doing? Some of those Russian download sites are run by very nice people.
I'm sure they are, but they look sketchy as hell, and I would
no,
never
of course.
download anything from them.
But, I think that's sort of one of the big issues a lot of people face is there's sort of this myth of the music fan who's going to seek you out. And there are people who do seek music out. Bucky Brown, a good friend of mine, is a great example of this. But he's so much more the exception than the rule.
Yeah.
Right? And that's sort of the key differentiator is, and I think a lot of people think that's just going to happen, and it's not. And that's sort of how we feel with this podcast is people aren't fucking looking for music industry podcasts. But if they see a music industry podcast run by a couple of guys whose names they might know, they're going to check it out.
Most likely, yeah. Now, I have a question for you, just as an aside. How do you feel about those? It's mainly in the stoner doom community. These guys that upload full albums to YouTube and have big followings. Are you pro those or anti those?
I think if they have the band's permission, it's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Like at the end of the day, I'd rather have my band get 30,000 views and no money than 5,000 views and $8.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think the main thing is if they include like a buy link, I think that would be the key thing. But if they don't, I think it's kind of a waste of time. Well, actually, no, it's not because it's like getting a commercial.
Yeah, it's really not. Like at the end of the day, you're just checking out a curator of taste. I think a lot of people get really upset by that sort of stuff. But like if someone with like right now, someone listening has like 10,000 YouTube followers or whatever, I don't give a shit. Upload this.
Yeah, go ahead. We're fine with it.
Upload it with a picture of me with paper clips up my nose. I don't care. Because guess what? I just want people to listen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, actually, that makes me want to ask Stone Meadow of Doom if they'll run this. They probably won't. It's not on their brand. But maybe Clint will do us a solid.
That would be pretty funny.
Because Clint's a good guy.
That would be hilarious. Do it, Matt.
I will. Anyway, heading towards the end. What do you have to plug?
Today I don't really have that much to plug. I got a few things coming out tomorrow, but I'm not going to mention them today. Oh, I am running a promotion where my 3-month packages get 15% off until the 31st of October. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. That's only till the 31st of October and only for 3-month campaigns. So interested, hit me up. Otherwise, don't ask me for a discount on the 1 or 2 month ones because I ain't going to give you one.
Is this your spooky Halloween discount?
Yeah, it's a test to see. It's just a test because I just want to see how good discounts do with the PR packages because I've only tried it out once before and it went pretty good. But it is kind of a spooky promotion, I guess. But it's more like a test just to see how it goes.
Okay. Well, I thought it was spooky because it was Halloween.
Well, I forgot about that. We'll call it the Canadian Thanksgiving / spooky Halloween sale.
Point being, otherwise we've got that Dead Register record coming out in a few weeks. Also, again, if you want social media feedback every week at a reasonable family-friendly rate, please hit me up. It's only $50 a month for weekly feedback. People have been getting huge ROI out of this. Please go head over to dropoutmerch.com and you will find a ton of exciting products, shirts you can buy. I think when this launches, we will have the Obelisk as one of our clients as a limited edition set. So
from the Obelisk? Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, there's kind of a big deal. There's kind of some cool stuff coming up. So please do check out dropoutmerch.com. This has been Curtis Stewart and me, Matt Bacon, on Dumb and Dumbest.
Are we done yet?